Pokemon Go to our podcast and listen to all of our episodes. Hey, if you're under the age of 18, don't listen to this. Or if you played Pokemon Go. Or, well, you might, actually, just, you heard what I said.
We're not keeping this one. You're starting over.
We might keep this one.
No, we're not.
Oh, come on, that was...
No. Hey, y'all, welcome to the DYHAT podcast, brought to you by Corona Light.
Oh, God,
The cure is in the bottle.
We're starting out strong this week. Damn.
It's coming, Bryce.
It's
if
coming.
you watch the news, it's coming.
It's also...
I feel so tall. Give me a second. All
okay,
right.
so...
Much better.
So every time Derek comes over to record, I have this chair here that for some reason is always taller than when he leaves it. So he comes in every single time he sits down, he's like, this chair is tall, then shortens it. I don't understand why you don't just... You know it's going to be tall, because it's always tall.
I don't know. Don't be distracted by the fact our sponsor... Remember our sponsor.
Gosh, I wish...
They need some good publicity. No one's drinking their drinks anymore.
Hey.
No one's drinking their drinks before.
Well, after the... I don't know, the Fast and Furious franchise got them on lockdown.
That's true.
Yeah, hey.
I feel
we're
so...
here, your family. Wait, that's not the right one.
That's Olive Garden.
Yeah. We talk about family and Fast and Furious a lot.
Fast and Furious is, I don't have friends, I have family. And then Dom does like a lean.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah. Fucking hate that ride.
Yeah. I talked to... Someone made a Facebook post about how, like, they're pretty much superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much at this point.
I'm like, at this point, there's going to be a Marvel crossover and nobody would be surprised. I'm like, it's going to be like, in the first Avengers movie, Dom's going to have his, like, big wrench and hit. Thor's hammer is going to make that explosion like they did when he
part of the
Shield.
Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Somebody actually did that. They redid the Defenders show from Netflix. They had the Wrecking Crew, and they used the Fast and Furious characters as templates. They're like, well, just use them as examples.
Yeah, because they're already, superheroes at this point.
Before we get off topic, even though we're already off topic.
Yeah.
Speaking about Fast and Furious, I was on my way to work the other day. Mm-hmm. There was an ECV, like a little radio control wheelchair.
Yeah.
On the highway, like abandoned, like somebody like drove it onto the highway, pulled it over to the shoulder, and went, you know what, this is out of juice, I guess I'll just walk, and they left it there, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who drove it on there? I'm so damn curious how it got there. Because it's like, in between all those like construction equipment, because they're redoing I-4.
Yeah.
And all that, it's like, who brought this on the highway?
So, you're telling me this. At the same time, I have memories. I used to, back home in Ohio, there used to be this person who lived by my dad. Mm-hmm. My dad lived in town. They would drive, it wasn't really an ACV, it was more of a, electric wheelchair. Mm-hmm. They would just drive it, like, down the street every day. And I'm like, I get you can't drive, and this is a good form of, getting there. At the same time, you saw them every day, and I'm like, I wonder where they're going.
Well, where are you heading to, sir? What's your journey?
I want to hear your story. Also, they flipped off a lot of people when they were doing it, so I feel like they're just very angry the entire time.
Fuck the word, Bryce. We can do that when we get old.
What?
We'll get our own little radio controlled wheelchairs and we'll just drive down. We'll take both lanes up so they can't get around us and just slowly chat as we drive slowly down the way.
Did you see Burger King now is selling these big things of soup? Cool. Do you hear a lot of beeps?
Nah, it's in the air. It's in the air.
There's poisoning the air again. See, back in my day, we did it by accident, then on purpose. That's a bad time for me to take a drink.
Back in my day, we used to ride the trolley.
We still do ride the trolley.
No, we don't. Well, they have a trolley. I don't ride it.
We went to Busch Gardens, and they have a road trolley that we took back to our car.
That's true. That's different. That's a tram. That's not a trolley.
That's a road trolley.
No.
And ours crashed.
A trolley is like the,
Do you remember that?
What?
When ours crashed?
It crashed?
That's why we got stuck, on the road for a period of time. Because they hit another one.
Oh, fuck, no.
You didn't realize that?
No, I didn't. I was too busy looking at the drunk guy who was acting up in the front.
Yeah, so we were heading back to the car.
I knew we stopped for a while. I didn't know why we stopped. I wasn't paying attention to that.
You're doing this turn, and another one was coming by that was empty, and ours was full, and they tried to turn by each other, and they hit.
Oh, I was not paying attention.
And these guys stopped, and they were trying to assess the damage for a bit, and they're like, you know what? Just go.
It's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of people on, because that was like the end of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was distracted by remember the dickhead who was in the front, who he probably caused the accident.
Yeah.
Because he was too busy fucking with the driver.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
That proves how good my anger can be, that I can completely miss an accident that I'm in and be like, you know what, this drunk dude's a fucking asshole.
Oh, hey guys. Welcome to Did You Hear About This? It's a podcast about stories. I'm Bryce.
I'm Derek.
And we got super far into this before we introduce ourselves, but hey, it's us.
It's fine. If you're watching this still, you've been around for a while, hopefully.
I mean, maybe this is the first episode they're jumping in on. You don't know.
And we're brought to you by the nice, relaxing taste of Corona Light.
You say that. You were drinking water out of a mason jar.
At least it's a mason jar.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And it says stuff about alcohol.
Yeah.
It's for whoever fucking Tito's is.
We're not sponsored. So everyone's aware, we're not sponsored by anyone. This is a joke we're doing. And
we're sponsored by viewers like you.
Yes.
We're going the PBS route.
Hopefully we'll get, who knows, maybe by when this comes up, we'll probably be sponsored. Probably not. But who knows?
I used to hate that back in the day. Mm-hmm. They still do it on PBS, where they go down all the sponsors and then and viewers like you. And I look at them like, I don't fucking send y'all anything.
Well, I think it's more like we get donations.
I don't give them
thanks
shit.
For donating, whatever. So we're a podcast about stories. We're not reporters. We're not historians. So sometimes we get things wrong, and that's okay.
Sometimes we get a lot of stuff wrong.
We don't. I don't think we get much wrong as you think.
I do.
I do a lot of research on these before we cover them.
So what is the first story, anyways?
That's a good transition there, Derek. Hey, Derek.
You're welcome.
Hey, Derek. Did you hear about this?
Probably not.
Did you hear about the Battle of Castle Ider?
Castle what?
Ider. Itter.
ITT. No. It sounds like a disease.
It does.
Like you have the Castle Ider.
I got them down with the Castle Ider. You're just looking over at.
Sorry, you flipped your phone over.
Yeah, I got a message. I took my phone up because I don't want to get distracted, and it distracted you by me doing that.
So, anyways, Castle Ider.
Yes, Castle Ider. Castle Ider is a castle. It's near the village of Ider.
You don't say.
In Austria. This is
Austria, not Austria. Austria is where Arnold's from.
Yes.
Okay. People always, they don't confuse that, but that's always the joke.
Yeah. So, the Battle of Castle Ider happened on the very tail end of World War II.
Okay.
The very tail end. Like 5 days after Hitler committed suicide.
I'll say so.
Supposedly committed suicide.
So he probably did.
Yeah, he's like, you know what?
He ain't going down. He ain't letting people take him. He's like, fuck that.
Yeah, I'm done.
So pretty much World War II was over. Once you kill the leader, it's pretty much over.
Well,
at that point.
I think it tailed on for like a month or two, and then it ended.
But I imagine most of that was like small conflicts.
Yes,
not really.
And talk about small conflicts. Let's talk about the weirdest one.
Oh, okay.
In the entire war, this is considered the weirdest battle to happen.
And ended up with everybody hitting each other with rubber chickens.
Oh, that would have been so good. So, Castle Ider was transformed by Nazi Germany from a castle to a prison camp, and had a bunch of French prisoners that they thought was valuable. Forte. Yeah,
they like prison camps for some reason.
They like camp.
Yeah,
they like big old tents.
They were
and
part of the Boy
campfires.
Scouts, I imagine.
Yeah, a bunch of marshmallows.
They didn't cook those marshmallows.
They did.
Damn, that was dark for you. Fuck.
We're talking about World War II. It gets very dark.
That's true. Okay, let's have fun though. This is supposed to be a fun story, yes. Right?
So on May 3rd, 1945, Vladimir Kočević, a Yugoslavic resistance member,
Yugoslavia,
yes, who worked as a handyman on the castle, left the castle saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go run some errands.
I'll be back soon."
And they're like, "Okay." And he had on him a letter in English. Requesting ally aid at the castle to get the prisoners out.
Okay.
He went to the nearby town of Worgl, Worgl. That's 5 miles away, but found out it was occupied by German troops. So he pushed forward to Innsbruck, which is 40 miles away. There he informed the American 103rd Infantry of the prisoners at Castle Eider. The next morning, they attempted a large-scale rescue, but were stopped by heavy shelling. So he's got his message through.
Okay.
The Americans know about it.
Yeah, they're going to come.
They're on their way.
They're going to come on their jet skis with sparklers in their hats.
Yes. So
America fuck yeah ass playing in the background. They got bazookas.
So remember, back at the castle, the Nazis were like, "Oh, he's going to go on errands," but then,
which is such a weird thing. It's like, okay, yeah, you can go.
Yeah.
You think they wouldn't let him leave?
Well, he's a handyman. So he's like, I need to go get more tools. They're like, all right, go.
I guess. You think they'd be more strict, though? Like, what tools do you need?
This is also after, like, Hitler died, and they're like, you know what?
We're done.
We have so much stuff going on. You just go do whatever.
Do you think they knew Hitler was dead at that point?
It's been 5 days.
It's been 5 days, but, news travels slow back then.
Especially slow. So, maybe not. Either way, they were like, we're kind of busy here,
They just got the little bit of information where, like, Hitler's in a little bit of trouble. Oh, okay. Hopefully he pulls through.
I hear he's taking a nap.
Yeah, exactly. Come down with the flu.
So they think he's going on errands. He's like, Zonimir hasn't returned from his errands. That's kind
of sketchy.
That's kind of sketchy. I'm kind of, we kind of scared. So Heinrich Himmler, the guy who was controlling the campus, that died. He just disappeared. We had a guy die under suspicious circumstances like a couple days before. I'm just, I'm out.
So he just quit?
He just left. He abandoned his post, and then his SS troops kind of followed him the next couple days. So they abandoned the camp.
So wait, is there even a fight at the end of this story?
Yes. Okay. So the prisoners took control.
Okay, that's fine.
But they're still in occupied Austria right now.
Yeah.
Like, we have a castle.
We can rule this place.
We have just the castle.
A guy walks in wearing sunglasses. Can you dig it? Do you get that reference?
Yeah, it's from Rick and Morty.
No, it's not.
What?
That's from the Warriors.
Oh. Oh.
That might be a reference from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
From the Warriors, but from the Warriors.
Well, what do you got? Is from
Rick show us what you got.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Rick and Morty. No, can you dig it? In the Warriors, all the gangs meet up together, and they kind of go, you know what? There's more of us than there are the police. And the guy just goes, can you dig it? And everybody starts freaking out, like, yeah! And he goes, can you dig it? And he just keeps yelling that. And people are like, yeah, we get it. We're taking over the city. And then, then the Warriors movie happens.
So, all I know is that I played the video game.
So yeah, pretty much. There's a lot more stuff, but that's like the beginning bit of it.
It was very hard, and then I saw like people in baseball uniforms that got very scared because they were very difficult.
Anyways, back to this fucking castle.
Also the prisoners and the people who were with Zedomir to take the message also didn't know if the message got through because they're in prison and stuff.
Yeah, you can't really get a lot of mail there.
So they sent a second messenger, Andreas Krobat, to Wargol in an attempt to get more help. There, he succeeded in contacting Major Joseph Gengel.
Okay.
Gengel is a former...
Sorry, I don't know why you tell me these fucking names. I'm not going to remember any of these, but Gengel makes me laugh.
Well, Gengel's important.
Oh, is Gengel?
Yeah, these are the guys that are... But Gengel's important.
Oh, okay.
Gengel was a former commander of the Warkombat soldiers, and he turned into a rebel. He's German. He used to be a Nazi.
Okay.
But he's like, I'm done. He's a rebel. He got in contact with Captain Lee of the American 23rd Tank Battalion 8 miles north in Kufstein and asked for its aid.
Okay.
He got permission from HQ and took what little soldiers he had left to Castle Eider.
Okay.
So while all this is happening, while getting the messages out, the prison leaders requested a former SS officer to lead their defenses. So who was also being held at the camp. So they have an SS officer leading them.
Yeah, so there's a Nazi leading the people
against
the Nazis.
Yeah. So by the time I arrived at the castle, the prison leaders were both relieved and worried.
I wonder why.
The Americans brought 16 soldiers. the rebels brought 11. The Americans did bring a tank with them too. But a total of 27 people.
Yeah, that's not a lot to take a castle.
Yeah, no, they already had control of the castle.
Yeah.
So we brought help. Me and my small family here. My family of 4 will help protect this castle. So Lee pretty much took control of the army. He's like, I'll take control over this. I understand that You're in control of a Nazi's controlling you right now. I got it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the Nazi in a minute.
So all this is happening. They're having like small battles every now and then, like small people like attacking them, like actual German troops. Because Wargal is still under German control. It's 5 miles away. Lee ordered
They're pretty much smack dab in the middle of a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, so Lee ordered the French prisoners to stay inside, but they refused and remained outside and fought beside the American and Workmite soldiers.
That's not bad.
They fought to protect the castle all throughout the night. In the morning, Gengel was able to was able to phone another resistance leader requesting more men to fight.
Okay.
The other resistance leader sent 3 guys.
It's like the pettiest shit. It's like, you know what? You got a castle. You don't need this much help. Send a few. Send a few.
One of them was like a teenager. It was like, I just signed up. I don't know what's happening. They all got into a Jeep and just drove there.
It's a new guy and a guy who's like 3 days away from retirement. He goes, yeah, we'll be fine.
And then there's just like one old dude like, we got this.
He's got a big ass cigar.
I was in the first one.
Wow, he's been around for a while.
He survived all of it. So after the 3 men got there, shortly after, 100 to 150 Waffen SS soldiers launched their attack on the castle.
Okay.
That's 100 to 150 to what now? 30?
Yeah, I'd say if you round it up generously, 30.
Yeah, so they had the
one tank
positioned at the front door, just like shooting out. And they had like positions all the way around. So they're surrounded, just like holding off. Like, we just gotta survive.
Well, not the route. If you're gonna be stuck anywhere,
and
you're surrounded, a castle's not the worst place to be stuck.
Exactly. The castle is working.
Yeah. That's the whole point of a castle, is it's supposed to stop shit. And to make sure you doesn't get in.
Yes, and Lee realized, alright, in order for us to survive, we need more help. Because otherwise we're just gonna keep berating us until
send another 3 people.
Until we run out of like ammunition. It's gonna be real bad. So he's trying to figure out how to get word out. And that's when one of the French prisoners comes to him. It's famous tennis player Jean Boretta.
Is he really that famous for playing tennis?
He was at the time.
Oh, okay, because I've never heard of him.
So he offered...
His last name isn't Williams.
So one of the Williams sisters comes up to him. He's like, you know what? I'll vault the castle wall and just kind of run through all their fences and get help. I can run really fast and burst. I'll go between the gunfire. I can make it. And he's just like, I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, if you want to try, that's fine by me.
I mean, if you fail, you're not really helping us fight anyway. So he's like, you know what? Here's a uniform. Just like stay hidden. Go for it. So he jumps the wall, and between all the gunfire, runs through all of the defenses, and gets to the 142nd Tank Division, and they roll in with their 4 tanks.
Oh, so now we've gone up to 5 tanks altogether.
And they quickly are able to squash, because, it's just people against tanks.
Yeah, it's hard to fight a tank.
Yeah.
Have you tried to punch it through a tank?
Not today, no.
Exactly. Why do I imagine when this guy was running, even though he was in, like, uniform or whatever, he still has, like, the big sweatband on, like the tennis players have?
Yeah, I was picturing the entire time. He's, like, standing on the side of the wall. He has, like camo on.
Yeah.
He just puts a headband on. I've been training my entire life for this moment.
Oh, and he jumps out.
He pulls out a tennis racket. They're like, why do you have a tennis racket?
That's how he didn't get shot. He was hitting the bullets away. He's just smacking them. If anything, he probably killed a few guys with that. Yeah. Those are returning serves right there.
So at this entire battle, the Allied forces only had 1 casualty. Gengel died from a sniper shot while trying to protect a former French prime minister.
That's nice, I guess.
Yeah, he was the only one that died. He was the former Nazi. He was like, fuck the Nazis now. And he was trying to protect these French people.
If anything, that's like one of those things, like, you know, in like the old Western movies where you run into the guy and he's like, so where's your past? And past is like, he's like a bad guy.
Yeah.
And now you turn good and he dies at the end.
Yeah.
That's like that story. He's like, he was a bad dude, but he sacrificed himself for the greater good type of deal.
And because of that, he was honored as an Austrian hero.
Oh, that's nice.
And his name is a street name in Wargal now.
Like they named like a street up. Okay. That's really nice. It's probably the only one I can pronounce that's there.
Yeah. So, that's the strangest battle of World War II. And it's the only battle in World War II where Germans and Americans fought side by side. And it's, when you think about it, it happened after Hitler died. Otherwise, that would be really weird.
Well, a lot of people, like when you go and look at it, a lot of people who were in the German Nazi party and stuff like that didn't really want to be there. Mm-hmm. Like some of them, yeah, they were fucking assholes.
Yeah, of course.
But some of them were just there because it's like, oh fuck, I gotta do this or they're gonna fucking kill me at this point. Yeah. So I imagine he probably didn't like the Nazi party in general.
Yeah. Especially, it's one of those things where I'm always, like, it's a big redemption arc.
Yeah.
It's like, you were a Nazi, and then you fought alongside the Americans
and
against
killed
the
Nazis.
And you protect the French, who were, like, your first, like, big people you took over.
Yeah, exactly.
You protect those guys.
They stepped over
With the help
France.
of a tennis player.
This was a really nice story. I'm glad to be back doing this. This is fun.
It's always nice to have like an upbeat story every now and then.
And then it's where it's so weird.
Yeah.
Because, people always talk about, like, whenever you hear a war story, it's always World War II. Mm-hmm. And that's because so much weird and interesting shit happened in World War II.
Yeah. I have, eventually, here's a hint at a future one, I have one that bridges between the two wars and involves both.
Really?
Yeah.
For 1 and 2, I'm guessing?
Yes.
We gotta get some Vietnam ones.
Vietnam. The hard part, Vietnam. World War II is weird at some points, because like, it has so much documented things, because there were so many people there. When Vietnam happened, it was just, there wasn't a lot of, reporters there. Mm. It was just a lot of bloodshed. Because people were dying left and right. Especially on our side.
Yeah, we lost that one, didn't we? Technically.
Yeah, because we went in not knowing what was there, and they destroyed us. So, yeah, it wasn't it
wasn't the best idea.
It wasn't the best idea. It wasn't a lot of fun stories from it. It was just like, wow.
What about that time?
Ow.
What about that time the one soldier grabbed the guy and he ran through the forest and he got shut in the buttocks, and then they went and had ice cream afterwards?
I love Forrest Gump. He wanted to play ping pong after that. Yeah. He was real good at it. I promise that ball was real the entire movie. Yeah, at the time,
imagine if they remade Forrest Gump with Tom Cruise, because he really gets into his roles and he learns like different languages and shit like that. Yeah. Imagine he's doing ping pong. He actually had to learn how to play ping pong really well. I think
Tom Hanks actually was playing it at some point, but until it got faster, they're like, all right, we're just gonna put in a fake one.
Yeah. Well, not to be rude, you gotta practice like at a young age to do something that impressive. Are you okay?
What?
You're fucking shaking.
I'm shaking both my legs because
yeah, I know, it's freaking me out.
Sorry, man. Man, anxiety is rough.
I see.
Yeah. I'm feeling fine. Just like, my legs are bouncy.
I actually saw a thing recently on TV. They had there's a new kids show where they have like kids who do amazing things and stuff like that. And there was like one of the youngest champion ping pong players actually. Yeah. And then she's like from South Korea or something like that. Somewhere in that area of style. Yeah. And they brought her over and she was a big fan of Ellen. So they're like, we're gonna go meet Ellen. Yeah. And they played against each other and Ellen brought out this huge, like, big ass novelty ping pong paddle that's like the size of like 3 fucking people. She's like, I'm good, you ready?
Oh gosh.
And the little girl was like, I like you, Ellen, but you're making fun of my sport. Like, she looked pissed, like off, like, don't be making fun of ping pong.
Oh no, it got awkward on Ellen. Wait, that's every show. All right. We're not sponsored by anything Ellen related. I'm going to call her out.
You don't like Ellen?
I don't like Ellen.
For some reason, people, at least around here that I know, don't like Ellen.
Yeah,
I've never met her, so I don't know.
So, I know some people who work in the industry over there. I heard along the grapevine.
She's a mean person.
Yeah, working for her is the worst, and she's a terrible person.
I guess we'll never be sponsored by Ellen.
I mean, shucks, dang.
We'll be famous in like 10 years.
Yeah.
We'll be going on talk shows and shit like that. We'll end up on Ellen, and she'll be like, so I found this recording of you earlier. It'll be you talking shit about Ellen. I'm just going to walk off. I'm going to get up off the couch, and I'm going to walk away, but like, yeah. I'm
looking down the basement. This is a terrible segment. You put this together. You know this was going to be bad. I'm going to leave it as bad.
Wasn't she the one who had like a young person like fold a map or something like that? Like a road map?
So she tried to do the segment where it's like, kids nowadays don't know how to do old things. And I was like, here's a map. She unfolds this huge map. You have 30 seconds to fold it up. If you knew how to fold up, you couldn't do it in 30 seconds. And it's like
people who know how to use those maps don't know how to fold them.
Yeah,
up.
and she had trouble unfolding it. Like, she's like, all right, fold up this map. So she starts to fold up the map. She's having issues. Like, all right, forget about that. She's like making fun of it. All right, forget about that. Let's go to this rotary phone. Try to do this rotary phone.
I like rotary phones. Rotary phones are fun.
And she does it a couple times. She's able to do it. She's like, all right, go to the next one.
You know, Bryce?
And I forget what the last one was, but it was just the dumbest stuff. Like, can you do this old stuff?
Speaking about old and like pop culture stuff.
Yeah, and it was a 17-year-old girl, and she was actually smart. And she got a lot farther than Ellen thought she was going to get in everything. And I'm like, yeah.
This is the part of the show where Bryce just talks shit on Ellen the whole time. But you know what? We have something new. Speaking about pop culture and
that was a segment.
That's our segue.
That was a segue to the segment.
So do your segment because Bryce has a new idea.
So I had an idea. So we're gonna try this new segment out this week. See if this sticks. If it doesn't, it's cool. If it doesn't,
we gotta find something for the middle part of this show. Everybody,
Yeah.
If you have any ideas, send them in. Bryce will read them and he'll get back to me.
Tweet at us at DYHAT Podcast. It's DYHAT Podcast.
Hashtag alright potatoes.
That's a dead one. It's
fuck. Is it raining?
No, it's the wind, my dude. It's a wind in a tree.
Wow, that's really windy out today.
Yeah. No, that's just it's a gust every now and then.
Okay.
We're trying this new segment out. If you like these segments, let us know. You can also email us at diehatpodcast@gmail.com. If you want stories you want us to cover, or if you want to have a segment, just tell us about it.
I promise at some point we'll bring back Florida Man.
Yeah.
That sentence was very horrible.
Yeah, well, Florida Man is constantly out there saving the world, and it's hard to bring him in every now and then. So we'll bring back soon, but for now, we're just trying some other things out. Keep it fresh.
All right, so here's your idea.
So
spit it out.
So
that was me spitting.
A lot of things happen in pop culture that they arise, they peak, and then they die, and then we don't talk about it ever again.
Like the life of humans.
So the segment's called "We Don't Talk About That." Where
it's a working title.
Yeah, I kind of.
I wanted to go with what?
What?
But Bryce didn't like that
so,
idea.
We're gonna just talk about for a bit things that we experienced in our lives where it rose out of nowhere, it peaked, and we're gonna share our experiences from it.
Let it be known that Bryce thinks this is such a good idea. He did not tell me what we were actually talking about. He just told me what the idea is.
Yeah.
So what is the subject? I am so damn
Derek,
curious.
Were you one of the people that first started playing Pokemon Go?
No.
Oh, come on.
I knew this was going to happen. I've never played Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I've never had it on my phone. I remember when it became popular because I couldn't get the fuck away from people with it.
Exactly.
It is horrible. It's not a bad game. It's one of those things that I don't like a lot of Pokemon stuff. Like I liked the TV show when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I like Pokemon Snap for the N64.
Yeah.
Other than that, that was my stomach. I never got. I wonder if that came over the microphone. I'm so curious.
Let's keep going. Leave this all in. I think I hope it does.
I just never got into the games.
Yeah.
Never played them really.
So
I don't really like turn-based strategy games.
So it's not really turn-based either. They didn't.
Yeah, Pokemon Go isn't, but in general, the main series is turn-based.
So when it first came out, I was in high school. I think it's been a while.
It hasn't been that long. It came out when I was at work. You weren't in high school.
I must have been in college.
You might have been in college
because when it first came out, I was back at home for a bit.
It was at some point in the past 6 years because I was at work and then you showed up.
I'm googling it right now. When it came out.
Nothing but professionality here at the DYHAT Podcast.
Cool. It has no information.
Just go to Wikipedia.
2016.
Ooh, so
I was in college.
4 years ago.
Yeah, I was in college. So when it first came
out... I was working. I didn't go to college.
I was visiting back home when it first came out. And my girlfriend at the time was like, hey, you should get Pokemon Go. So I got it. We started playing for a little bit. And, she's like, let's go for a walk and go to, see some Pokestops along the way. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go out for a walk. It's, this park nearby. And it's, 10 p.m., and
there's people around, aren't
there's a lot of people out.
Yeah.
A lot of people our age walking around. I'm like...
Because when you catch the ghost ones, right? Or something like that. You only get, certain ones at certain times, right?
Yeah. This is actually before a lot of that was implemented when it first opened. So it was just you're still finding a Weedle.
Weedle. So
we're walking around at this park, and there's just a bunch of people out at 10 p.m. just walking around the park. And I'm like, huh. I'm not surprised, but I'm kind of surprised.
You remember back then they used to have, whole... get-together sessions where people would meet up and go do stuff.
It was huge. It escalated real fast. And it got to the point where I went back to college after the break. And I was, a bunch of friends and I went to dinner somewhere. And we were driving back, and there was a moment we were at a light, and all of us pulled our phones out, and all pulled up Pokemon Go. And I just looked around, I'm like, we're all playing the game right now. And it just kind of hit me like a real rush. I'm like, how many cars are like this right now? At red lights where everyone in the car has Pokemon Go going. And there was periods of time when people the news was covering it.
Yeah.
They're like, people are almost dying, getting hit by cars trying to chase after Pokemon.
Yep. That was such a good thing for Nintendo when that came out, man.
Yeah, well, it's still...
It's still popular.
Going.
Yeah, people still play it.
And they released more editions after that.
But it's not as crazy as when it first hit. When it first hit, it was... You know what I hate? It's a fun story. I can't remember where I was. I was at a park or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they had one of those stupid get-togethers.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of Pokemon Go is you're supposed to walk around, right?
Yeah.
There was a staircase, a really long staircase. And there was probably 30 people sitting on the staircases.
Yeah. I'm
like, get the fuck out of the way. It's like, aren't you supposed to be moving? Why is everybody sitting in one fucking spot? Move. It's like, go sit, especially because there was benches everywhere. It's like, go sit on the benches. Why are you on the steps? Get off the steps.
I remember driving around and seeing a large group of young 20 to teenagers. Well, trying to cross the road with all their phones, looking for things.
Even the good thing is, even older people and younger people got into that. It was a main thing for the middle age.
Yeah.
But that thing spread. Everybody played that at some point, except for me. I haven't played that.
I'm super hipster. I don't do it because it's mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just never got into it.
Yeah, between the two of us, I'm more hipster, but
Mr. Kraft sodas.
I like Kraft sodas.
They're fucking disgusting. Just drink a fucking Coke.
It has real sugar. It's so good.
You can get real sugar in soda.
Yeah.
And regular sodas.
They use corn syrup or whatever. I'm like, no, I want some cane sugar.
You can get Dew Shine. It uses real sugar in that.
That sounds like a hipster thing.
Come
on, get some Dew Shine.
It's literally Mountain Dew in a can, and the only difference is that it uses sugar cane.
Oh, is it the throwback one?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Dew Shine throwback.
I think I had that once. I'm like, it was alright.
I bought that. I brought some of that over here, I want to say. Didn't I?
We had Code Red over here.
We had Code Red, and we had...
the cranberry.
Yeah, the cranberry ones. I thought I brought Dew Shine over at some point. Anyways.
I think you brought it for you, and then...
Going back to Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Did you remember seeing the video of the guy... It was over in China or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he had made a contraption so he could have 10 or 20 phones in front of him as he walked playing Pokemon Go. Do you remember that?
I think vaguely seeing something like that.
I remember seeing that. I'm like, that's real dedication right there.
Yeah, I remember people started selling accounts.
Yeah. So you could get
a lot of money. I'm like, I might buy one. It was
Bryce, I almost did that. I almost wanted to buy a whole PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because it was one with the PT trailer
on
it, or the game on it. I went, I can afford that. I just have it just for that game right there.
You know what, Derek? We have a bit of time. Do you want to talk about PT? Because that was another segment I wanted to do on it.
Really? PT?
Yeah.
That's not really a big culture thing. That was more of a gaming thing.
A big gaming thing, but at the same time, it
freaked a lot of people out.
For a period of time, it was old style gaming.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew
what was going on.
How to beat it. How to do anything with it.
Thanks, Kojima.
So for a period of time, everyone's like, what is this? It's just a single hallway.
Yeah. I feel bad that game didn't actually get released.
Yeah. But
I need a new Silent Hill. See, why can't we have Silent Hill Go, where you run away from monsters the whole time?
I ever since Pokemon Go released, I keep hearing about other augmented reality games.
Well, there's a Harry Potter one now that's popular, isn't it?
Harry Potter one came out.
They were playing that at work, and I didn't get it either.
Yeah, that came out. I heard about scary ones coming out. Mm-hmm. And I'm always interested to see how they go, because nothing is going to recreate how big Pokemon Go.
You know, it'd be a really good one for something like that. Do you know what Fatal Frame is?
I know of it, yeah.
But I say, if anyone who doesn't know what Fatal Frame is, the whole concept of it is you're in a haunted area. And the way you fight ghosts is by taking pictures of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Literally, just make it so ghosts pop up every now and then you take fucking pictures of them on your phone. That would work.
Yeah, I've always curious to see how, like, when they release how well they do. Because I know they can't recreate it, but I'm always curious, like, can they recreate it? Because it was almost overwhelming.
It was
when it first came out.
It's one of those things that now, whenever somebody tries to do it, it has to go to that standard. Like, how well did it do against this?
Yeah.
And Pokemon, and because it was Pokemon,
yeah,
because it was around the 2000s, like 2000, you said 2016, 2016. So that's just enough time that everybody who was in the 90s was old enough to, like, you know what, I can do whatever I want on my days off.
I can walk around with my phone.
Exactly. So it worked out so perfectly. The only way it could have been I don't think anything could compete with that. Digimon? Nope. Yu-Gi-Oh?
Curious. Because the purpose of it was to get people out and moving around.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there was any, like,
walking distance times or something.
Or, like, people like, I got fit because of this. Or people like, I died because of this. I want to see, like, these numbers.
Oh, somebody's probably most definitely died at some point. Because wasn't that a thing where they were talking about not going outside late at night to do Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Or, like, people were making, like, hot spots or something like that where they were robbing people.
So I remember... I was during the peak time of it. I went on there. You could put lures on different like Pokestops, and I remember getting on there one night, and I looked at the map, and it was just every single one had a lure on it for like miles. I'm like, whoa. I remember going to like Universal. There was ones like in every 10 feet there was a Pokestop.
Because there's like one for like each ride, and there's one for like the Globe, and there's one for like the Lighthouse, and there's one for like the restaurants. And
I remember being...
Same thing for Disney, isn't it? Doesn't Disney have a whole bunch of them? Like one like the train station. And
they're
one
not
like,
as many, but they have a lot.
Yeah. One at like where the Haunted Mansion is. That's where the ghost ones are.
I remember at when I was in class, there was one I was just within reach of. So the entire class, I was like half paying attention, half doing that. I graduated. It's fine. I was half playing it.
He graduated. Now he works with me.
Yeah. So it was... I'm trying to see if I can get like release stories.
There's probably somebody who claims to have, because of walking around, lost weight. They don't want to bring that up again, because the last time they did that, the guy was a fucking pedophile. Fucking Jared.
Jared's ruined everything.
Yeah.
Lives, sandwiches.
No, you know what the weirdest thing is? The day that happened, well, around the time when that happened, they showed the South Park episode where they had him as a special, like, guest character, and I went, they're never going to show this again.
And then they released the game where he was a boss.
Yeah, well, that was after the fact. This episode came out in, like, 2000. It was just a rerun. So
I have here a article by The Verge that goes over the first year that when it came out.
Okay.
September 10th, 2015, it was announced. They had some screenshots released. It launched July 5th, 2016. July 8th. Jeez, it got dark real quick.
Did somebody die already?
Yeah!
Yeah!
A teenager stumbled across a dead body. Was searching for... He found a dead body.
He didn't die. He found a dead body. There's a difference.
Yeah, he found a dead body while looking for Pokemon Go 3 days after it released.
That's fine. If anything, that's a good thing. They probably were looking for him for a while. He didn't. Was the corpse found with a cell phone with Pokemon Go on it somehow? They're like, wait, the game wasn't out when he died. Oh God, he's from the future.
Okay. By July 12th, a lot of businesses, memorials are like, we don't want them here. We don't want the Pokemon Go players, because they're like flooding these Pokestops.
Yep.
And so businesses are like, do not play the game here. It got out of
no Pokemon.
Did you see any of that stuff?
Are people sitting around not doing anything in a like fucking public area?
Businesses refusing.
Nah, not really.
Because I remember seeing like a sign in front of a restaurant that said no Pokemon Go allowed inside.
Most of mine was like you said, like at theme parks where they really don't give a fuck, and like at parks where it's a park, so no one really cares.
Yeah. By July 19th, it's been out for 2 weeks.
All right, somebody else die?
They start releasing businesses and tools related to the game are being released.
Okay.
Like full on businesses. Like people are making money off this app that is free. So
that's the craziest thing. That's the crazy part, is like, it's the most expensive free game.
Yeah.
So many people made a lot of money off of this fucking game. You probably could still, if you try hard enough and you find the right crowd, you could probably make money off of this game still. Maybe not a lot, but enough that it's like, oh, I can pay for gas now type of money.
So, by August, the player dropped off happens.
Yeah.
So during that time, it was massive numbers. It's still big.
That's how popularity works.
By September 5th, a Russian YouTuber went to jail for 2 months because he played Pokemon Go in a church.
I remember that. I actually remember when that happened because that was in video game news at that point.
Yeah,
because the church freaked out, like, how dare he sanctify the church playing this game about evolution? And it's like, calm down. It's a cartoon.
And then by a year in, that's when the company that makes it starts doing actual events. So everything before that was just people who played it.
Yeah, exactly. Like people who made their own group meetups and stuff like that.
It released in Europe about a month after it came out, and then released in Japan almost like 8 months after it came out.
Now, are there certain Pokemon you can only... Okay, because you said this happened after the fact. There's only certain Pokemon you can catch in certain regions of the world?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
It actually happened with release, too.
Okay.
It was when it first came out, I remember there was like ports of certain states only had certain Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Eventually, as they went worldwide, they started releasing those to countries instead of just states. Mm-hmm. So now I think every state, every country has their own like
private Pokemon.
Yeah, one of them that only they can get.
Oh, that's neat.
If you're wondering, Australia, I'm pretty sure has the kangaroo one. I forget the name offhand.
It beats having the dingo one, I guess. See, that's the thing. I don't know anything about Pokemon from like the 3rd generation, but it's gotten to the point now if you say anything, it's like, oh, it's the coffee maker one, but oh, okay, that makes sense. Sure, why not?
You say that there is one that is just keys.
Yeah, exactly. There's one that's a fucking wind chime. There's one that's just like the lug nuts that you like put on the side of your, like to tighten up your tires and shit. There's that. There's one that's like fucking honeycomb.
But you say that. Let's go back to the 1st generation. It's a snake.
That's true. There's just a snake.
His name, backwards,
Snake.
is Ekans.
Yeah.
It's Snake.
Exactly. Somebody made a joke about that because there's that, and then there's another one, and then they're like, well, then there's Muck.
It's Arbok.
Yeah. Which is Cobra.
Cobra, yeah. And then Muck.
Muck.
We won't talk about that one.
This weird slimy creature.
So you said
it smells bad.
You didn't play any of the games.
I could download it right now. We go outside and play if you want to.
Do you remember watching the show or anything? Do you have any knowledge of it?
I like the movie. I made it all the way up to the 3rd generation of the show.
Yeah.
So that's back when...
I know what 3rd generation is.
Oh, fuck. But I'm trying to remember, because it was one of those things where, you know when you're a kid, you remember like the base of this stuff you like, but then you don't remember the spread?
Yeah.
I got bored after Brock left. And then Brock came back. And I'm like, okay, I'm back on. And then Misty left. I'm like, fuck it. I don't want to watch this anymore.
Oh, God.
That actually was my favorite part of the show. They had a spin-off show where it was, each episode was on a different character that wasn't Ash.
Yeah.
So they got to go back and be like, oh, well, here's what Team Rocket's up to when they're not looking for Pikachu. Here's what Misty's up to since she's been gone for like 2 years. Here's what Todd Snap's been up to. So I really like that one because it's one of those things that's like, I like seeing the universe more than I actually like the character arc of Ash's playing. It's like, he keeps losing. He actually won eventually. Yeah. Did you hear about that? Recently he won.
It took him, we're the 8th generation now?
I have no idea.
But he changed his animation style and everything.
Yeah, and he finally won. But
now that he has weird bulbous eyes, now he wins.
But I like the idea of the world and looking at the world more than I do about. That's why I really don't like the games either. Like, I don't want to, because all the games before, like the original ones were, you want to be the best, you want to catch all the Pokemon, and then it got to the point where it was like, you're saving the world. It's like, I don't want to save the world. I just want to have fun with Pokemon.
The 3rd generation of games, it was like, I love the villains on the 3rd generation because every other villain in every game is like, I want to steal all the Pokemon. I want to make sure all the Pokemon are free because they're trapped in bulbs, so we're going to free all the Pokemon. But third generation's like, we need more Earth. We need more water.
Let's flood I forgot about that. Yeah, they wanted to flood the Earth in one of them. I forgot about that.
One wanted to flood the Earth, and one wanted to get rid of all the water by making all land. I'm like, what? What are you doing?
One wants to make it water world. One wants to make it Fallout.
Yeah, and then there's the third version. It's like, all right, they're both wrong. Just you have to fight both of them now. Yeah. Like, oh, okay.
That's the one.
I'm 10 years old.
That's the one thing about Pokemon that is amazing. Thing is that they can release literally the same game. It's like Street Fighter. They can release the same game 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
Because literally the only difference in between those two things is what the main villain wants to do. Other than that, most of the Pokemon are the same. There's like a few exclusive ones that you need both of them for. And then they go, okay, we'll release the third one. What's special about the third one? It's the same game with a little bit more Pokemon.
Now it's green.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's green, and that's it. Well, no, it was yellow.
No, the third one, third generation was green.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about
third one
first generation
was called yellow. Yes, because you got to. It was Pikachu.
Yeah, you got Pikachu, and you got to walk around with you.
Yeah, and then I saw like a bunch of mod ones. Like you don't have to have Pikachu. You can have other Pokemon.
Yeah, they'll follow you as well.
I have this legendary Pokemon following me around. It's no big deal.
Bryce, if Pokemon were real, what would be? You don't have to capture them. Let's just say you have them as pets.
Yeah,
you can capture them if you want to. What would be your 3 top Pokemon that you have?
My favorite Pokemon of all time is Absol. It's a panther.
Oh, is that the one with it's like blue and black?
It's like
50-50.
It's mostly white and it has like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it looks kind of like emo haircut with a blade on its head.
Yes,
it's badass.
Because Bryce is edgy.
Yes, and also it's a panther, and panthers are dope. Other than that, I'm like, I saw Plusle and Minun were pretty cool. They're like
the little mouses.
Yeah, they're like Pikachu but smaller and cuter.
Okay, so is that 3 because you?
Yeah, those counts as 2.
Oh, okay.
Because they're 2 different ones.
Sorry, I would have been like, okay, that's one group. I want Snorlax.
Jeez,
I just want him out.
Do you know in canon how big he is?
He's fucking huge.
He's the size of this room.
Exactly. I would love to have him just to hang around. I would lose $1 million trying to feed the fucker. Yeah, but I would love to have him just around.
Don't worry, he sleeps for like days on end.
Yeah, exactly. I would have to get the flute and learn how to play it so he could get up and dance.
You only have to feed him every now and then.
Yeah, it'd be like the Day of Reckoning.
One feast every 3 days.
Exactly. You see me roll up with this big thing of food like on a crane. Yeah. Like, what's that for? He's waking up today.
What's that for? Snorlax. Okay.
It's like that, and I want Doug Trio. Because I don't know where his legs are.
You dig in front of his legs. It's just more body.
Honestly, that's one of the greatest mysteries. You know, they make creepy stories out of it. Like, where are Diglett's legs?
Yeah.
One of my favorite... Okay, if you don't know what Diglett is, he's pretty much just like a mole. He's like a mole Pokemon. If anyone who doesn't know that. My favorite thing is somebody pointed it out. They had an episode where they were like in school and everyone had their Pokemon.
Yeah.
And you just see Diglett at like the table. He's just sitting there. Like, but you don't see his legs at the bottom of the table because his legs are that small.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, wait, where's the rest of them?
Why is he
at the table?
He's going through the table?
Yeah, exactly. What's going on here?
You've never played one of the games.
None of the main games, no.
I played... With the mainstay games, I played a game called Mystery.
Bryce ruined my recording of me talking about Diglett.
So the canon in Diglett is that Diglett is just his body is eternal and goes to another Diglett on the other side of the planet.
You're a stuttering mess. I hope you know that.
I know. I'm just frustrated. Just stopped right there.
That's your fault. That's why you need to get batteries. You need to get batteries, Bryce.
I know. You know what? Let's just end the episode.
No.
We have to start wrapping up soon anyways.
We can start wrapping up. I'm pulling this fucking battery out.
Alright, you work on the battery. I'm gonna wrap us up and go into the last story. Cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, shout out to Young Walnut for letting us use his music for our intro and outro. You can find Young Walnut on YouTube and SoundCloud. He is fantastic. The song we use is Captain with a Dream. A lot of the music he does is parody. A lot of times it's original music. I'm a big fan of both because I'm a meme lord for sure.
For the memes.
Yeah,
lols.
Like I said earlier, you can follow us on Twitter at DYHAT Podcast, DYHAT Podcast. We tweet whenever we release an episode. We also tweet just sometimes at Zac Efron because...
Stop!
Never! I will never stop. You can also email us at diehatpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us or email us about stories you want us to cover, or if we have made mistakes, you want us to make corrections.
I'm going to hack our account So you can't bring up Zac Efron anymore.
If you go on there, we follow like a couple things. It's like me and you, Zac Efron, and Officer
Tassino!
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's favorite officer. We
That's
have to have him start tweeting more.
If you want to know the reference to that, go listen to the episode Officer Tassino to meet the third official member of...
Official?
Sorry.
Fuck no, he's not official.
Yeah, the temporary third member for an episode. Or first guest.
Alright, so let's end this fucking mess.
Cool. Hey, Derek, did you hear about this? Did you hear about one of the first thoroughbred horses?
Thoroughbred means like the fancy ones, right?
Yes. They're bred for the
Specifically
purpose,
for
so
stuff.
they're ripped as fuck.
Yeah.
The most thoroughbred horses today have their bloodline go all the way back to the 1700s.
Okay.
To a horse that started 40 races and won 34 of them.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Do you know what the horse's name?
What is it? That better not be Seabiscuit.
It's spelled Potoooooooo.
Potoooooooo.
The illiterate stable boy tried to write down the name Potato when he was trying to on the feeding bed.
All right.
And he put down P-O-T, the number 8, O. Potato.
I love that so much. Oh, man.
So one of the thoroughbred horses that every horse comes from, his name is P-O-T-O-O-O-O-O-O-O-O.
Potato.
Yep.
He's an alright potato.
He's an... I know.
Yeah. Let's end it. Alright potatoes, everyone.